And here's the ladder to get back up to this small little mesa. Okay, if you're looking at photos, this is a really cool photogenic view, I believe. I've photographed it before. This should be the test. How well you can hear me. If these earbuds help. See 40 there. Los Alamos is off that direction. White Rock is to the left. So if you didn't want to take the ladder, the trail does come up right here next to this. If you didn't really like that ladder, you could take the trail and meet up right here. I've photographed this a bunch of times. I'm probably, after I'm done with the video, going to come back and photograph it some more. You can never get too many photographs of this. And as I walk through with the video, it reminds me of just how beautiful it is. So many nooks and crannies in here. Wonder if that wasn't carved out by them for maybe food storage. Hey there. So there's some people here, not too many, but you'll run into some people here. It's a popular spot, not just for visitors, but for locals too. I've often come here and just trail ran because I just love, well, I love to run, and this is just a fun spot to run at. Okay, loop trail. You see some of this stuff I think has just been worn out from everybody walking up it. See how eroded that track is? So that's why it's important just not to carve into these rocks or etch into this. Treat it with care. Oh, this one went behind some clouds. And we're going to follow this up. Just follow the little gully. Isn't that amazing just how worn out that is? I wonder how deep that was at the time that this became part of the national park system. Has that just been worn down and in the relatively few years since it became a national park or monument? Or had the ancient Indians worn that down? And we have a sign. Trail this way. That's good. You can see that from further down. So if you miss kind of the gully you got to walk on, see that, got to head up this way. A little wider here. A couple of spots, if you had really big feet, your shoes might get stuck in it. But up here, it's wider. I'm going to go sideways there with my cameras because it's a little tall. It's going up to my waist or a little above it. Ooh, there's some petroglyphs right in front of our face. You see it? How huge that is? Look at that. So it's somewhat eroded, but it's still really in pretty good shape up there. Is that a medicine man playing a flute? Any of my friends that are studied in petroglyphs, please add what these are. It's a snake. This is really cool. It's an alternate route with the so you could either go up through here or you can come over here and take the ladder because that is kind of narrow in there. So I think I'll take the ladder since I got two cameras hanging from my shoulders. Yeah, so that other one came up through there. I don't know if you can tell by the perspective, but well overhead. It's a sign to remind us to stay on designated trails only. We will do that. You've got numbers up here. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see a map that listed what the numbers were referencing. I guess I should have looked for that. But if you guys know, add it in the comments. Ooh, look how pretty that is. I think I need to take a photo here. See if I can take a photo and still video at the same time. It's really cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's amazing how many times you can be to a place and think you kind of know it or feel comfortable with it. And then you do a video and you realize you weren't paying too much attention to lots of things. That's my case now. So incredibly beautiful. So we're going, I believe, close to the end of that butte, and where that white, kind of the white chalky looking area is, I think that's where we come down at. Anytime. That looks so many cliffs and buttes around this Los Alamos White Rock area. It's really, really cool at sunset to be photographing this. Ooh, I like those flowers right there. I think before the clouds move, because it's supposed to be clear tonight, so the clouds are going to move at some point. So I better take some photos now before they're gone, because I like the clouds in the background too. I can see why Indians would pick this as a spot to have lived. I mean, you get up here on top of this mesa or this butte, and there's tons of just uh, tons of not that it just provides so much the ability to see so much around you. That's what I was trying to say. So if you had enemies approaching or whatever, you could spot them from up here a long ways off. And the rock's really soft, so it's easy to carve in your cliff dwellings and other buildings. So basically that sign's saying that the valleys down below there used to be full of crops when the Indians lived here. I mean, if you see how green it is down there, it makes sense that they could grow crops. This is the very end of September. So, well, not very end. I guess I'm losing track of time. It's the third week in September, almost the very end, but it's still kind of late in the year. This time of year in California, everything's brown. Well, California, some of those areas, everything's brown by like May, but here everything's still green. All right, so we're going to turn left for the Pueblo, and then the trail continues on. So we're going to go to the Pueblo and then walk back. I believe according to the map, it showed it was just a one-way trail out there. Let's see. Plays in front of you. Yep. Ancestral home to the nearby Pueblo of San Ildefonso. For over 100 years, the main trail ran through the center of the Pueblo. Wow. Sun's playing peekaboo with us with the clouds. It's back. Area closed. Maybe we can't see it. I guess if we'd been on that tour that I discussed that the Rangers were leading, maybe they would have taken us in there. So this is where the Pueblo was. You can see it's sunk down in there a little bit. I wish you could see more. See a little bit of the rock walls if you look close around there and off to the left a little bit. I think that's it for the trail, unless I missed it. We'll look as we head back. If I missed any bit of the trail, it doesn't look like a trail besides maybe an animal trail. Opens up over here. I don't think it lets us go very far, just to an anthill. But if you look really close, you can see some of the rock they probably use for walls on the Pueblo. It is really pretty. If we couldn't get to the actual Pueblo, we got right next to it. I guess this will give me a reason to research the ranger-led hikes and see if we can take a ranger-led hike sometime. From what I could tell, it didn't look like there was much of the Pueblo left, anyways. So probably didn't miss too much, but it still would have been cool to have gotten a little closer. This is making for a nice little way to stretch my legs. I drove 13 hours yesterday to get here from California. So I was at sea level. And I did pretty good, I think. A couple times kind of got my breath maybe just a little bit, but overall I did pretty good. So you can use that to gauge how well you might do. As I said, it's a really easy hike. But a beautiful place it should be to live in. It's pretty neat, all the flowers that are still blooming here. A lot of places, kind of this late in the year, flowers are long gone. You get flowers earlier in the year, right, or into the summer. But there are still just lots of flowers here. Starting to go downhill a little bit. I think we're almost to the end of the loop. I see that white chalky area off to the right. I think That's where we're going to come down at. Another big sign to let us know to continue this way to stay on the trail. Ah, so maybe there we're finally getting almost to the end of the loop. Called it too soon. Ooh, some Indian paintbrush. That's pretty cool. There's a little bit more down there. That up there is not a trail. Ooh, look down before we go down. Kind of cool little opening there. I'm also going to stop and get a drink of water. A little higher elevation. It's not too hot, but it's like almost 80 degrees. So as a reminder, make sure you bring water. All right, continue this way to access the ladder. That was the lens hood for my camera scraping. Very narrow there. You have to kind of inch your way through. Pointing up in the sky while I'm trying to negotiate this down. It's not too hard. It's a little harder because I got my two cameras. You see, there's the ladder there. Follow the trail. Ooh, do not enter. So it's a good thing we saw that from where we were. We're not able to go over there. We will follow the trail. Here's number 5. That's for a food storage area. Not sure. Looks like a little trail you could take off down there. But I'm not going to go down there because, although you can see some steps down there if you look. They said to stay on the trail, and they don't show this as an offshoot on that trail map. So we will just be safe and not go down there. We can still see. Look at these openings here. Little window there. Ooh, and we can go in here. Whoa, ceiling's a little low. I'm 6 foot and my head is hitting the top. They got a little closet right there. These holes up here, they probably have for ventilation. Maybe in the wintertime they had fires going in here. I would guess so. It can get really cold here in New Mexico. This is really cool. I am going to take a photo while we're here. The easiest way to do it one-handed, but I think I'm got it. Sorry for letting you see the floor there for a bit while I was aiming the camera. But isn't this really cool? So I took a photo that included that main part, that main kind of, it looks like an arrowhead, doesn't it? Like the doorway's an arrowhead. That is so neat. I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but it looks really cool. So I got from that hole down there to that hole up there in my photo. Another little one. Maybe the parents slept there and the kids slept over here. I don't know. Probably not. If I recall right, these Indians weren't very tall. Number 6. Whoa, so look at it. They just went like straight up that. Let's walk over there. I mean, that is like a ladder. Sun's gonna blind you, sorry, but I mean, that is going straight up. Let me back up over here a little bit so you can maybe see how it's like right behind that rock. Goes straight up for it, angles over up to there. Another pathway going down there. We're going to stay on the main one. Looks pretty cool. Ooh, I like this. Flowers growing out of the rocks. See that? Can you? It's hard for me to see my screen with the sun out. My screen's gone almost totally black. That looks really cool. See it from back here. And I got a photo of it. You liking? You like the lichen? Really pretty. I don't know about you guys, but I hadn't been hearing the traffic. I just heard some traffic now. I like this. Just like that. Time for a photo as the video camera drifts off. Yeah, if you happen to know any of the history of this place, please add it in the comments. It'd be great to find out more about this. It's amazing how just merely by walking, it's eroded this deep into this rock. There's a cool tree. Could be kind of cool. Bunch of big boulders falling down here, so I don't know if maybe there's some rooms up there, and then with time these boulders just fell off, or the rocks just broke off, and the boulders came down. We'll walk that way. I'm gonna stay down here in the main part. Cool. Time for another photo here. Close to the edge here. You can tell the trail's taking us right to the edge. Let's see, Highway 4 off in the distance there. And we have more steps, more carved out steps, or eroded out steps. Pretty neat to see how it goes down there and kind of snakes around. For a photo of that. Be here for a few days. And later in the week, supposed to have photos when we get more clouds. As you see by the sky, clouds are slowly moving away, which is supposed to be clear tonight. So that would make sense. But I'd like to photograph like even like that spot right there with just clouds over the cliffs. So one I gotta drop down into. And then a little uphill section. Does it look neat? Kind of cool. Would you say a lizard? Little lizard. It's gone now. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, more petroglyphs. The whole wall is full of them. Let's see what we can make out. can't. I can see the etchings, but I can't really tell exactly what they are. If you guys can tell better on the video. It's like an arrow, maybe. Maybe it's a deer or an antelope. Deer, maybe. Antelope, maybe. Maybe antelope. That's really cool. Hope we didn't miss any more. I forgot to kind of look for them as we're going by there. Really narrow spot there. I had to kind of bend to get through it. Let's see if we see any more. Oh yeah, oh, this is huge. Look at how neat that is. I'll take a photo of this one. I forgot to take photos of the other ones. It's pretty neat though, huh? Got mom and dad up over here. It's like, maybe. Wonder if those arrows are look like maybe somebody in more recent times maybe carved those. Maybe. Not sure. That's really neat. A little bit right here in this spot. Some on the side here. Some more over here. What is that? I see an Indian with a spear. A bird above him? I don't know. What is that? That is really, 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 really cool. There's more up there. More on the side of that. So many ghosts. Few up there I can kind of faintly make out. there's any more up there before we head down. I don't think I see any. I hope you guys all enjoyed all those petroglyphs. They're really neat. Another really steep, narrow section here. Pull my cameras in to get this. Not scraping them. Section where so narrow you have to just like inch your way down. You can't step one foot in front of the other because two of your legs miss each other. Slowly inching my way down like a worm, an inchworm, inching my way down. Kind of weird how it has that separation. So I got one leg on one side and one leg on the other. It's really pretty. And the path is opening up a little bit more. A little bit, but it's nice now that I'm working my way through. So, just as I say that, there's maybe one last section to have to do it in. Short and sweet. There's a trail down there. We're going to connect down to that. Let's look back a little bit. It's kind of cool, the colors right there coming off the cliff right there. Underneath the streaks. Some loop trails, doesn't really matter which direction you go. Sometimes for some reason I like going counterclockwise. But this is a trail where I would suggest following the arrows and going clockwise because as you saw, there's a bunch of sections there, not that you couldn't like work your way around or wait for somebody to come in the other direction. But it's sure it's gonna be a whole lot easier if everybody's going the same direction. Because there was a few sections there where you had 20 or 30 feet of one-way traffic. Ooh, another cool flower. As you can tell, I'm fixated on these flowers. I'm going to take a photo of them. I like that it's shadowed behind there, so when I process the flowers will stick out a little bit. Behind it, flowers are lit up. It's just so neat. It's like a wave. It's almost like you're at the ocean in a wave. It's like a wave of rock just came across. It's looking there, whether it's, I guess that inner part would be eroded out, maybe. Formed with a big air bubble. You have some drop offs right there, but the trail's pretty wide. Ooh, another little alcove here. You notice those cars there, they're all coming from Los Alamos. Nuclear labs are up there. Ooh, another alcove back up in there, smaller one. So I'm not sure what time it is, but it must be getting off work time. There's two routes that come out from Los Alamos to this side, and a lot of the lab people use that one. I like the other route a little better. It's got a deeper look. It's kind of neat how it seesaws in. There's, you can see right about there, I think, or right around there is the ladder. Maybe you can see it now. That's going up. That's where we're headed to. Almost back to it. Here's there's a spot where we looped off. That's the uphill part. And so we're back on the two-way part of the trail. Now let me turn around here. I think I'll stop the video up here. Reception's a little bit better up here than down there. So I want to thank you guys for watching this little hike around the Tsankawi Loop Trail, part of Bandalier National Park or Monument. I will have to find out for sure. I just don't remember. Sometimes I think that they're national monuments because they're kind of small or not well visited, but they're actually national parks. So sometimes I mess up. And Bandalier is one I've been to a few times, but not enough to obviously remember whether it's a national monument or a national park. Um, Anyways, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Check out other videos on my YouTube. I got a lot of videos from Disneyland, which I love going to. I like going to the Disneyland of the outdoors, which is areas like this, where it's just such a beautiful area, so much to explore. So please check out my videos and come back for more. And again, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I finally got over 800. So I feel like I've gotten over the hump. I just need to get to 1,000. Please help me. Thank you so much. And until next time, it's been fun talking with you guys and showing you a little bit of the world.